So, my gaming PC does still perform great, but because it's using that same shitty motherboard from the original build, I'm dealing with a lot of overclocking limitations. So I wanted to throw in a new board and go to town with overclocking to see if I can squeeze any more performance out of my aging 10th gen Intel CPU and RTX 30 series GPU. Now, I've already made a full build video on my current setup, which I'll have a link to down below if you're interested, but in a nutshell, my gaming rig specs include a 10th gen Intel Core i9-10900K, an MSI RTX 3080 Trio, 32 gigs of G.Skill RGB RAM, a 750 watt MSI SFX 80 Plus Gold PSU, a Leon Lee Galahad 240mm AIO, and because I harvested several of the parts in this PC from the sweet monster of a pre-built gaming PC MSI sent me like a year or so ago, maybe two, one of those parts is a depressing H490 series MATX motherboard with very limited overclocking capabilities. Now, I'm still going to be using my Sama 01 ITX case I originally got for that build because it supports both ITX and METX boards, and I still love this case because of the insane versatility with setup configurations and different part sizes it supports. So, because I'm using a 10th gen CPU, I actually wasn't able to find any Z590 boards here in Canada. Well, I did on Amazon, but I didn't like the brand selection, and I'm not paying $500+ to import one from the US. Anyways, I did manage to snag this Asus ROG Z490i on Amazon, which has everything I need and should let me overclock the balls out of my system. Should, fingers crossed. I also got this 32 gig kit of Crucial Vengeance RGB Pro SL RAM to replace the 4 8 gig sticks I have in there now. And because the new motherboard comes with one of those like stupid chunky wired Wi-Fi antennas, which I hate, I ordered a pair of these stick antennas to slap on the back instead. Also, since my Pioneer soundbar uses optical audio, I added this USB to optic audio adapter to the order as well. Now, I remember how much easier it was to do a build in this case compared to other ITX cases I've reviewed in the past, but now that I'm using a mini ITX motherboard, I can move the PSU cage from the front panel side to beside the motherboard, giving my hands a whole bunch more room to work with and making cable management like way easier. So, after trying out a few different cable configurations, I finally finished the build, and with fingers crossed that it'll post on the first attempt, it fired right up. Okay, with the build done and Windows installed, I wanted to dive right into the overclocking and tweaking, get some benchmarks done, do a bit of gaming, and compare the results with the old motherboard and see how much more performance I gained, if any, or if I just wasted my damn money. But first, since I'd actually like to customize Windows and also not get nagged at by Microsoft all the time, we're gonna go ahead and get a license and activate Windows using the sponsor of today's video, Software Keep. Software Keep is a Microsoft certified partner that sells 100% genuine Microsoft products with 24/7 customer support to back it up with, which is why they have such high review ratings. They offer lifetime or subscription licenses for individual users or enterprise businesses for everything from Windows 11 to Microsoft Office or 365, for example. And if you use my link in the description plus the discount code, you'll get 20% off your order, excluding subscriptions, antivirus, and cloud services. Placing your order is as easy as locating your product of choice, adding it to the cart, entering and applying the promo code at the bottom, continuing to checkout, entering your payment info, and finally clicking place your order. In a little while, you'll find your product waiting for you in your email. You open it up, get your product key, head into Windows settings, scroll down to activation, click on change product key, drop your new product key into the text field, and poof, you're activated, baby. So click the link in the description, head over to Software Keep, use that discount code, and get you some genuine certified Microsoft products for cheap. Okie dokie, overclocking and testing wasn't very much fun. No matter what I did, I just couldn't get the same stable 5.2 gigahertz overclock I could with the previous motherboard. I mean, I spent hours and hours trying. But before throwing in the towel, I decided to revert everything back to default, only enabling the XMP profile, and use the Asus AI overclock tool in the BIOS, which started to improve things, but I noticed there's some manual AI settings I could adjust. So, after playing around a little bit, I came up with some interesting results. So, starting out with Ada 64, with the previous motherboard, I saw about 75 degrees Celsius with an all-core overclock at 5.2 gigahertz. Now, with the new board, I'm getting the same bloody thing, which you'd think I'd be disappointed with, but I wasn't, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Moving on to Cinebench, with the previous board, I averaged 5.2 gigahertz, but there was a bunch of thermal throttling because I just couldn't undervolt it anymore before it started to crash. With the new board, while I'm only averaging 5.1 gigahertz, temperatures are averaging 90 degrees, well away from thermal limits. But gaming Gaming is where this new board has really shined. For example, with the old board, playing Battlefield 2042, I averaged 130 FPS on low settings. With the new board, I'm averaging 194. And playing Chivalry 2 on the old board got me 130 FPS on epic settings. With the new board, I'm getting 184. So a huge increase in game performance, and the GPU never goes above like 55 degrees, and that's with a small overclock. So, did I waste my money? Well, considering I'm getting much better gaming performance simply by using the AI overclock tool in the BIOS with no other tweaks to the CPU, I'm fully confident that with a bit more time and a little more playing around, I could squeeze out some more performance and maybe even get that stable 5.2 GHz or more in Cinebench. All that being said, no, I don't think I wasted my money. The whole goal was to get better game performance, and that's exactly what I achieved, which means that's gonna do it for this one. So if you need some Microsoft software licenses, don't forget to click the link in the description below, head on over to Software Keep and use the promo code underneath the link in the description for 20% off your purchase. But thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Cheers.